Hello to staff and parents from the English International School. I'm here at the Southwest campus. My name is Mel Hitchcocks and I'm head of school at Southwest. So it's the International General Certificate of Secondary Education. In Britain it's just GCSEs, we don't have the international. But basically it is what every student should leave school with at the age of 16. And you can take up to about 12 subjects, but most children will, or most young people as they are at that age, will leave school with approximately 7 or 8 GCSEs. So they study a programme which includes the core subjects, so maths, English, science. Every student has to study that. And then there is a little bit of flexibility. So in year 9, just before they start the course, students will pick 2 or 3 subjects that they want to study. Can be languages, can be arts, humanities, such as history and geography. They'll also do personal and social health education, that's compulsory, and they will also do physical education as well. Well, basically, IGCSE is a curriculum, so you follow a set path and you follow certain subjects. Now, there is flexibility within that. So yes, every student has to study the core subjects, but it's up to the schools in particular, particularly international schools. We do have a lot more flexibility as to what we can offer, but it is a set curriculum. So the teachers know what they're going to be teaching, and there are exams at the end, and that is a big difference between IB and IGCSE. When students finish their IB programme at 16, they don't have exams. Under the British system, under the IGCSE, they do have exams. You can, and we have lots of students that have done that in the past. Programmes are different, and even within the IGCSE programme, we might run a different exam board from another school. So there's always going to be things that the student maybe hasn't covered. The great thing about a small school such as EIS is that we can easily plug in those gaps. So it really isn't a problem, and as I said, we've had lots of students move from GCSE to IB, from IB to GCSE, and we can deal with that. A-levels are advanced levels, that's what the A stands for. They are a chance for a student to start to specialise, and they're actually quite different from any other educational programme in the world, because at the time when you start A-levels at 16, between 16 and 18, we're asking students to really narrow their educational choices. So you will do 3 or 4 A-levels. And that's all. You don't study. Under the IB programme you would study 6 or 7. In the American system you would continue to study maths and English. When you get to A-level, if you don't want to do maths and English anymore, if you're like me and you're a humanities person, for instance, and you just want to do things like history and geography, you can do. The student chooses their subjects. And we're actually asking the students to start thinking about their university choices at that point, because obviously what you want to study at university it's really helpful to at least be looking in that direction when you're looking at your A-level choices. You can study almost anything. Obviously it depends on the institution that you're going with. We offer about 10 A-levels, one of which is online. We deliver online through the Orbital group, which is a new thing that we've brought in for next year. But you can do maths, English, science, psychology, history, geography, IT, art. There's lots of different choices. No, you don't. Most students that I have worked with, and I've been in education for nearly 15 years, by the time they get to 16, they have been in an education system for at least 10 or 11 years. and they know what they're good at and they know what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy. So for instance, you could decide to do history, politics and English at A-level. It doesn't mean that you're going to do any of those three at university, but it's very unlikely that you would then choose maths to do at university. You would choose something that fits in with what you've done at A-level. I think the main difference is the specialisation at A-level. We are asking students to narrow their choices. There are, at the end of the IB programme at 18, there are exams exactly the same as there are at A-level. So in that respect, it doesn't differ. But it is very much the specialisation. But as I said, I think by the time students reach 16, they know what they want to do. Even if they haven't decided exactly what they want to do with their lives, they know what they're good at and what they want to study. You can. It is more difficult in the fact that obviously, you know, A-levels are very knowledge and skills based in those specialist areas. So if you haven't been studying those areas in the IB, there's quite a bit of catching up to do. However, again, I've had students move from IB into A-level and they have managed to do that. It's just a little bit of extra work. The great thing about British education is that it's worldwide. You know, we have the most exportable, I don't know if that's a word, but our education system is exported throughout the world. Universities throughout the world know A-levels, they understand them, and IGCSEs. So you can pretty much get in anywhere you want to go. And I have placed students in universities throughout the world, from Britain to America, Asia, and they've all got in with A-levels. There are about 4 or 5 universities in Moscow that accept A-levels, and that list will grow, you know, over the next few years. So depending on how old your child is, by the time they get to university, it will probably be a lot more than that. So A-levels really are probably one of the most universal qualifications that you can get. Well, I did A-levels back in the day when I was young. I think the thing that I like about them was 2 things. One, I like the idea that you can specialise, that you don't have to carry on studying something you have studied for the last 10 years and you're not particularly interested in. But also, I think they are academically very rigorous. You know, I watch students go through the process now, the same process that I went through, and I really do think that they are the best way that we can show the talent and ability of our students. So I'm a firm believer. When I came into international education, I had a choice. Do I go down, do I teach in the IB route? Do I teach in the British education route with GCSEs and A-levels? And for me, there was really no question. It was IGCSEs and A-levels.